Welcome back, everyone. So it is almost my birthday. Woo-hoo. This video is going up on Friday. My birthday is on Sunday, and every year I like to do a Q&A around the time of my birthday. So I asked over on my Instagram what questions you have for me, and I am just going to be getting ready today while we answer those questions. So I'm first starting off with my sunscreen because it is so windy and cold and rainy in Las Vegas. I have not been able to walk. So usually I'm like, oh, I already have my sunscreen on because I just got back from a walk. Not today. I just did reformer Pilates this morning, but the weather's gonna turn around soon. Like, it just has to. It's what is it gonna be, spring by the time this video goes up? Like, come on. Alright, I got you zoomed in a little bit more. So the Kosas SPF is in my current Shop My Stash bag. So I'm going to be using some products from that and then also some newer products as well. Like I have the Milk Makeup, their skin tint that just came out. I'm going to use the Odens and Morgan Turner palette. I have a couple new lip shades of the YSL lip products, the L'Oreal Brow Pen that I forgot to try in my last Get Ready With Me, but I will link everything that I'm using in my description box, of course. Okay, I have you zoomed in and looking at the questions. I just was screenshotting them. The very first question that came in was, how does it feel to finally be 21? Listen, that came from my girlfriend Lydia, and thank you so much. If you don't follow Lydia yet, she is Lydia in Vegas. She just started YouTube recently, so love that for her. Lydia, it feels great to finally be 21, especially living in Las Vegas. Now I can gamble and club and drink, really all the things that describe me to a T. I'm just kidding. I don't really do a lot of those things. So, but I am excited for a new birthday. I will be 38 on Sunday. March 23rd is my birthday. So exciting. The next question was, how do you feel about getting older? You know, I don't know. I'm trying to say this truthfully because the first thing that I want to say is, like, I've never really minded birthdays. I've never really minded getting older. And I was like, that's probably false at some point, right? There was probably a birthday that I was like, about, or something along those lines. But like, I was excited to turn 30. I mean, I was even excited to turn like 35. I was living in Vegas at the time. 38 to me, honestly, 38, I do feel like sounds like I'm about to not be in my 30s, and I think maybe that freaks me out a little bit. Like 37, I was like, yeah, she's chill, and then 38, I'm like, oh. But I do, like, I've really enjoyed my 30s. I've had a lot that have happened in my 30s. I have definitely grown a lot and experienced a lot in my 30s for sure. I bought my second house and, you know, really took a lot of time to try to like decorate it and make it a home. We went through a worldwide pandemic in my 30s, so that was wild. I tried to conceive in my 30s, that didn't work out. I got divorced in my 30s. I moved from Iowa to Las Vegas in my 30s and started over. Started 2 new businesses now since I've been in my 30s. So my 30s have definitely not been a quiet time. I've done a lot, I've experienced a lot. You know, last year I took 19 trips, which was absolutely wild. It's been a good I'm gonna say decade of my life. We're not quite there yet, but being able to reflect back on the last 7 years, I'm like, wow, like there's really been a lot that has happened, girl. Like, you did the things. For my skin, like I said, I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup. This is their Hydro Grip Gel Tint, and I'm using the shade 5. I feel drawn to use a sponge with this. Sometimes with skin tints, I like a brush. Sometimes with skin tints, I can use my fingers, but for whatever reason with this one, I wanted to use a sponge, and we'll see how I feel. I haven't tried this one yet, so this is a first impression. So this is one that is in my March Madness video, and by the time this video goes up, what, Friday? So we will have had our 3rd live chat with March Makeup Madness, and at one point, this was actually winning, and then it went to the Milani, I'm pretty sure, the last time I checked, was winning. But I am filming this on Tuesday, so who knows what will happen by the time Thursday rolls around. But if you are playing March Makeup Madness, yesterday I would have announced the two products that are moving on in each category. And then next week for the live chat, I'll be doing the full face using all of the winning products and then seeing who has the best bracket. So hopefully you've been playing along. It's a game that we play every single March. And then also if you are because we do those as a live chat, and then if you're a member, we are going to be doing a live chat on Monday. If you're on the 2nd or 3rd tiers with my membership, I just posted my members exclusive video that goes out to everybody. It was a day in my life. I hope you liked it. It's a lot with my friend Ashley. We really had ourselves a day. And then our live chat, I wanted to do it on my birthday, but my birthday is a Sunday and I know sometimes that's harder for people. So I decided to do it on Monday. So you can check the post tab. It used to be the community tab, but the post tab now has the information in the RSVP link. This is super pretty from Milk Makeup. Once again, I feel like that just like the one with Milani from last week, I feel like that blended in so quickly, so easily. The skin looks very nice. It feels very lightweight. Wow, that looks good. It looks natural yet like hydrating. Like I don't think it looks glowy, but I think that it looks hydrating. Wow, let me look it up so I can read the claims on this one. So this is from Milk Makeup. It is $36. It's supposed to be a 12-hour hydrating gel skin tint with triple powered hyaluronic acid and buildable light to medium coverage for a natural dewy finish. Okay, all right. So again, I don't know if I would say, maybe do, like I was saying, like not glowy, but hydrated. So maybe like dewy works as well, but that is really pretty. I'm impressed right off the bat with so many of these complexion products that I have been trying out. I'm gonna use the Makeup by Mario concealer. I did not get good sleep, and unfortunately today I really do not feel well, but that's okay. The show must go on. So I feel like my under eyes are looking especially rough. This next question is, what's your goals with your new age and chapter? Okay, I will be honest, at the time that I'm filming, I haven't like done a lot of reflecting yet on my goals and like what I want to try to set out to achieve in this chapter of life. But you know, I kind of always have like a running commentary of what I want to do. I think forefront in my mind, and I know I've seen a lot of questions about this as well, but is to publish my 10th book. I really wanted my 10th book to come out last year, and that just didn't work out for me, and I am really determined to get it out this year. There's been some different things going on, just, you know, people that I work with and things like that that have kind of threw a few like obstacles my way, but nothing that I can't, you know, find someone else, or, you know, just like different things like that. So there's been some of that going on, but at the same time, like I'm really excited for it. It's also the 5th book of a 6-part series. So I'm just trying to do a really good job of making sure that just those little things when it comes to writing is like making sure I have everything that's already been written in the book, that it's like correct in this book, that sort of thing. So I feel like I'm like, I talked in one of my videos about having a fear of failure, and I think this is where it comes into it. Like I just want to make sure everything is right. Like I just want to make sure that there's no mistakes and all of those things. And then sometimes what that does is like it kind of slows you down a little bit. So it's like I know that I need to get over that hurdle. But definitely publishing my 10th book is one of the most important things to me. I'm really excited because I don't think I've said this anywhere yet, but right? No. I'm really excited because I have a new collab coming out actually very soon. Actually like really very soon. I have a new collab coming out. So that's pretty exciting. Wait, I wonder if I can actually use one of the products in today's video. I might try. We'll see if I can do it. So that to me has been something that we've been working on for a long time, and I'm really excited for it to get out there. You know, I have some different events planned. I, you know, started a new business a couple of years ago, Creators and Friends events. So we have a couple of events planned this year as well, which I'm really excited for. You know, next month I'll be gone half of April down in the Florida area. So that will be really exciting. And I think for me too, like one thing that I said that I wanted this year to focus on was definitely my career and kind of getting a better grip on everything that I do, because I do a lot of things. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I technically run like 4 different businesses. And some days I feel like I'm not organized enough to be running 4 simultaneously, and I like need to do a better job at that. And so I really want to get like a better handle on career stuff, and that's like a big focus of mine this year. I think last year I was really focused on traveling, and I was really focused on trying to heal from losing my dog. And then this year I really want to put a focus on my career, and also like my friendships are very important to me, and then also my family is very important to me. I mentioned in a video that my little brother and his wife are pregnant with their first child, so I'm really excited for that and being able to see them and that sort of thing. But those are kind of my priorities this year. Like I feel like last year I kind of was like such a mess, and like honestly, like I was in like such like this weird bubble. I feel like I wasn't good at my job. I felt like I wasn't a good friend, and I felt like I wasn't a good, you know, sister, daughter, any of those things. And so this year, that's definitely a focus of mine. So I think my goals from last year definitely look, you know, a little bit different, but those are some of the big things that I want to work on. I am gonna try this L'Oreal Brow Pen. It's a brow tint pen. So like if we mess this up, that's gonna be a doozy. But this is their faux brow up to 2-day brow tint pen, okay. It doesn't have a shade on here. It looks like this is like a brown. I don't know. The other one that I got was like black. So, oh, also, well, that's a pretty dark brown. I will say that when I swatched this on my hand when I was doing the PR haul, like it didn't come off my hand. So I don't understand, how are you, because it's got like a 2-prong. It's like a scorpion. How are you supposed to use this? Okay, maybe I should watch a video before I like attempt to like tint my brows for 2 days.
Giving a natural and full brow has never been this easy, and I'm partnering with L'Oreal to show you the new faux brow pen and how to go from sparse to stunning. Make sure to shake the pen to activate the bold yet ultra thin ink. It gives you double brow hairs in one stroke, and it's truly unique because you can flip it to achieve any result you like. The results are so hair-like you wouldn't even know they weren't real. And of course, it's smudge and transfer resistant. Make sure to grab yours before they sell out.
There's no way I'm gonna look like her, but sure. Okay. These kind of things just like freak me out, but we're gonna do our best. See, I just feel like I do my brows so different. Like I always start with like the line underneath. So I feel like when I use the pens, I'm not using them in the way that they suggest by like doing these kind of strokes, because that's just like doesn't seem natural to me. I don't know the best way to explain it, but like I'm gonna try. Like in the front is gonna be the most like, don't mess this one up, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't feel like I'm doing them like her, but I think I'm okay with how this looks. Okay. I don't mind that actually. This one is my more sparse brow. So we'll see how she goes. This could be nice to like, if it does really tint for like 2 days, it like at least could give like a nice base or like start to the brows. And then maybe for a couple days I would only have to do a quick fill in. I just did a video recently on DIY beauty, and so many people talked about like brow tinting at home and dyeing their brows at home. That was one of the things I got the most amount of comments on, was the brow tinting for sure. Like so many of you say that you do it as well, or dyeing the brows. And I was like, maybe I should really look into this. I don't think this part is like any quicker than how I would normally do my brows. But again, if it kind of stays for a bit, I'm just using my spoolie. Okay. I don't think they're like perfect. I think that's also a little bit darker for me. But so it feels like right now it feels just kind of like tacky and not wet, but it feels a little like tacky. I don't know if I really want to like run my finger through it and see if it's gonna stay, because that was like a whole thing. But okay, what do we think of the brows? How are we feeling? Let me know. Okay, the next question was, what was the scariest thing you ever did that you are now the most proud of? I mean, I feel like I always come back to saying leaving Iowa, I think was super scary. You can probably hear it in my voice right away that it always kind of like makes me a little emotional to talk about. I think leaving Iowa was just so hard. That's, you know, where I grew up. That's where I like know everything. I used to live in Dubuque, Iowa. That's, you know, I went to school there. I went to high school there. Go Rams. And I moved to Des Moines for college. But it was like, I think the hard part and why so many people stay in their hometowns is because it's comfortable, because you know it. You know the people, you know the places, you know how everything works. So when I moved from Iowa to Las Vegas, like even things of being like, I don't know how it works with getting a driver's license here. Like in Iowa, I've been renewing my driver's license every year since, you know, I was 16 years old. I know how it works. I know how registration works. I know the websites. I know where to go. You don't know anything moving to a new state. You don't know how things run here. And so that's always like a really overwhelming feeling, is being like so unsure and so unknown. And then of course, not only do you have that going on, but it's like I also left behind all of my friends. I left behind my family. Obviously I got a divorce, so I left behind a husband. But you also are leaving all the people that make you comfortable, all the people that bring you stability. Starting over is truly, I think, one of the hardest things that we can do as people, because especially humans, we crave, you know, I want to say like stability, but we don't like change. Like most humans are wired to like not liking change. We like our comfort. We like that stability. So when you upend everything and you just start over, it's such a jolt to the system. It's such a jolt to your thoughts. It's a jolt to your body. It's a jolt to your whole life and routine. And so starting over, I think, is the scariest thing that a lot of people can do. I think it's the scariest thing that I've done, but it's also something that I am the most proud of, because otherwise I would have continued to stay. I would have stayed in a place that I didn't love. I would have stayed in a place that I didn't feel accepted. I would have stayed around people that didn't make me feel loved and accepted. And I would have just kind of let life pass me by. Like I know that's what would have happened, because for the last several years, that was how I felt. Like life was just passing me by. I wasn't doing anything about it. And that was really difficult. So I always try to give the advice of like, it's not too late to start over. I know so many women I talk to that are like, oh, well, now I'm in my 30s, now I'm in my 40s, now I'm in my 50s. Like, I can't start over. I can't start over. And I'm just always like, I'm always trying to cheer people on to like, if you want to change your life, like if you're not happy with something, from something small to something big, like if you're not happy with something, you're the only one that's going to change it for you. No one's going to come in and do the change for you and do the hard thing for you. But you never know. I think it's one of the scary things about starting over and making big changes like that, is like, you don't know if it's going to work out. You don't. It's a risk. You're taking a chance. Before I moved to Las Vegas, I wondered if I wanted to live in LA, and I went to LA a couple of times for work, but I tried to really like see the area and understand it and all of that. I also considered moving to Scottsdale, Arizona. So I went down there for a week by myself, stayed there. Like at one point was like just looking through the neighborhoods, just trying to get a sense of like, what does the city feel like? I came out to Las Vegas for a week, stayed here. You know, my family came out with me here, had some friends here as well, looked around at different places, looked around at different neighborhoods, tried to understand what Las Vegas looks like. That's not Las Vegas, you know, that's not the Strip and Fremont Street. Like, what does actual Las Vegas look like? What does it actually look like to be a resident here? And, you know, I ultimately decided on Vegas, but the thing was that I tell the story of, I thought about buying a house right away because I owned a home in Iowa, and I had a dog and I wanted a yard, and I was like, why would I not just like buy a house in Las Vegas as well? But then I was like, I don't know if I'm going to love it here. I could move here and be like, this was the worst decision. And then I could want to move again. And then I could move to Scottsdale and I could hate it, and maybe I'll end up back in Iowa. Like, you don't know. You don't know until you try something. You know, I have a girl who I follow on Instagram. I've met a couple times in Vegas, but I saw that she is getting ready to leave. So she's been doing these posts about like, I've lived in Vegas for a couple of years. It's been so fun. I moved here from the East Coast, but now I want to move on. And she's like, I don't really know where I want to go. I'm going to go to all these different places and see where I want to live. And I do also know not everybody has the ability to just be able to like pick up and move all of the time. Like even me, like if I didn't love it within the first 6 months of moving here, I don't think I would have moved within 6 months. Like moving an entire business, moving my entire house, moving my dog, like that would have been like so challenging. But at the same time, you don't have to stay where you are forever. It might be hard right now to change. It might be hard right now to move. It might be hard right now to take a different step, but you don't have to stay there forever. You can make a change when you are ready to, when you have the money saved up, when you have the job lined up, when you have the courage lined up. You can make a change whenever. And so I think that I always try to remind myself of that, of like, you can move to Las Vegas and it can suck. and you can hate it. And then you can pick yourself back up and be like, all right, we'll try again. Where to next? What am I looking forward to the most this year? I'm really excited. I was like, what am I looking forward to the most this year? I'm definitely really excited for my brother to have a baby. You know, I have an older sister and a younger brother. My sister has 4 kids, and you know, all of them have been so exciting. I was an aunt when I was 11 years old, which is super exciting. And you know, we haven't had a new baby in the family for a while. You know, I skipped out on that part. We haven't had a new baby in a hot minute in our immediate family, so I'm just super excited. My brother's, you know, always wanted to be a dad, and him and his wife got married last summer, and I know that they really wanted to have a baby right away. And so I just know, I get emotional at the craziest things, but like, I'm so close with my brother. But I just like hoped so badly that it would happen for them and happen for them quickly, because especially as someone who struggled with infertility, it's just such a devastating thing to experience and to feel like you have no control over. It was just like my biggest hope for them was like, I hope it happens, and I hope it happens soon so they don't have to go through that stress. So when they called me, I was just so excited. And I remember like telling the story to my friends, because my brother texted me at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was on a walk and he was like, are you awake? And I was like, why is my brother hitting me with like a you up text? And I was like, well, I know what this has to be. So I was so excited, you know, when I was like, yeah, boy, call me. What's up? So I'm really excited for that. So they're due in the summer. I'm also really excited to go to Bali this year. Bali is my group trip that I'm hosting this year. So last year I hosted in Ireland, and I also hosted in Greece. I went on a couple other trips. I went to Italy, I went to Iceland, I went to Barbados. I hosted a few trips around the US as well, in Vegas, Austin, Portland, Maine. But this year, you know, with my travel schedule being so cut back, the only trip that I am like hosting this year, my international one, is Bali. And so I'm super excited about that. We're going in August. We do still have spots open on the trip if you want to come along, you know anyone who wants to go to Bali, if there's anyone you want to go to Bali with and you want to throw it out to them. I'm really excited about that trip because like I've said in all my videos, I'm just using the Milani powder. Really been liking the Milani powder and the Milani skin tint. Very impressed with those as well. But I just never thought that I would get to a place like Bali, so it has me really excited. It's going to be a big trip, and I might try to extend for a little bit and go to like, you know, maybe South Korea, or, you know, just kind of make it, you know, a real like couple week long like adventure type situation. So I'm really excited for that, especially because I did so much last year and I saw so much last year and it was so exciting. And so for this year, when I was really sitting down and looking at my travel calendar and being like, okay, I don't have that urge to be like running away from my life anymore. And, you know, I have different focuses and that sort of thing, but I still didn't want to like not travel at all, which is crazy. I'm filming this, what, March like 18th. I haven't been on a plane yet this year. Every time I see someone, they're like, where were you? Like, where'd you just get back from? I'm like, I haven't been on a plane this year. So that's a little crazy to me. But I think that trip, I'm looking forward to it so much because not that I took any of the trips last year for granted, but it was always like, okay, I'm about to go on another one, I'm about to go on another one. And this is kind of like the one that's on the calendar, you know? Like, even though I'm hosting a weekend trip in Miami, which will be super fun. I have a couple trips with creators and friends, which will be super fun as well. But this is like my trip that's on the calendar, you know? So, and especially if I can adventure a little bit more and really take advantage of the fact of like, okay, I'm about to be like really far away. Like, what else is over there? What else can I get to? What else can I see? Because it's not like I'm going to be coming back and then being like, oh, okay, now in 1 month, I'm going to go back overseas again. Like last year, I literally went to Iceland, Italy, and Greece back and forth 3 times from Europe within like 2 months. I think it was within like 6 or 7 weeks of each other. It was crazy. I was an insane person last year and I fully understand that. But that part was crazy, especially because all of July I basically spent in the Midwest. My brother got married. I did like a trip to Chicago. I stayed with my family for a while. I got back, I was home for like 2 or 3 days and I was off to Iceland, and I came back and then boom, I was off to Italy, and then I came back and then boom, I was off to Greece. I was like, you couldn't have stayed in Europe at any of those times? Like, planning was not great on my part last year. But for my eyes, I'm super excited because I'm going to use the Odens and Morgan Turner palette. So I do believe that this one is still sold out. There is a restock that's supposed to be coming, but it's so pretty. I still really wanted to use it, and I'm super happy for Morgan on her collab. And Odens just has such beautiful, I don't know what I want to do. They have such a beautiful formula. I'm really thinking about the shade Daydream is the one that's kind of calling to me, and I feel like I'm feeling like in a springy mood. Wait, I feel like that's kind of similar to something that I just did though, right? Didn't I just do the one with Nomad? I feel like that was the similar one that I used. Okay, also Flirt is really fun. And that's kind of like the holographic. Oh, maybe that'll kind of match my shirt a little bit. See, I really want to use the shade Giggle because I love this matte, but I'm really interested in the shade Flirt. I think I just kind of want to go in with that shade first and then kind of see how I feel about using mattes. I'm such a basic bee when it comes to my eyeshadows. Oh, there's a mirror on this palette. And honestly, most times I use one shade and call it a day. Lately, I've been going back to just doing liner. Look how fun this is though. It's got that fun shift. It's got that like wet effect to it. Okay, Samantha, just take the plastic off. What is wrong with you? A couple people asked, how am I celebrating my birthday? I think we have quite a few plans. So one of my close friends, her boyfriend's birthday is the day before mine. So the last couple of years, we've kind of just celebrated together because we run in the same friend group. So I know like we have a couple of different dinners planned, which I'm excited for. Oh, I know there's like a day club. We did a day club last year, which is like so funny, but I know a day club is involved. My friend whose birthday it also is wanted to do a bar crawl in the downtown area of Las Vegas. So he set up a few different places that we're gonna pop into. So that'll be fun. So yeah, I feel like it'll be a very Vegas weekend, which is great. It's gonna make me feel like I'm 28, not 38. Or 18 possibly, but I'm really excited for it. And I think for me, it's always just like being around the people that I want to be around is kind of like the most important thing to me. So being around like my close friends and that sort of thing is always like just what means the most. But then also at the same time, we live in this city and there's so many like fun and cool things to do. And so to get to do some of these experiences for your birthday, like we're going to Poppy Steak on Thursday night. And it's like this crazy restaurant and they have these like crazy presentations for food. And like, I get to go there on Thursday and I'm like, wow, like that's so cool. So, you know, just different things like that I'm really excited for. This eyeshadow really is so fun. I've also been loving the Kokie eyeliner, just the black liner that I pulled into my Shop My Stash. And what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit on the edge of the eye and just kind of flick it here. And then we're going to wing that out a bit, and then I'm also going to add it to the outer line as well and tight line. Okay, and then I'm just using the Sigma winged liner brush. This is the EO6, and then I just take that brush and do a little wing. So this is what I've been doing lately. I definitely fall into patterns of like I do my makeup one way for like, I'm gonna say a week, but really it's always like a couple weeks at a time. Like this is how I do my makeup and then I switch it up. So lately it's been like literally one eyeshadow and then some liner, and then even sometimes I just don't do shadow at all, and then I just do like this kind of more like smoky, not smoky, but just more like winged liner look. I don't know. That's what we'd be doing. And I do want to do a couple mattes on the lower lash line. So with a Sigma pencil brush, I'm gonna grab out, I still want to use the shade Giggle because I'm so intrigued by it, but Affirmation and Giggle, I'm just gonna do those on a pencil brush and add to the lower lash line. Pam said, oh, mine is tomorrow. Happy belated birthday, Pam. Says, can you please share what motivated you to start doing content? Sure. So sometimes it's so hard because I feel like I tell a lot of the same stories, and sometimes I get told like, oh, you repeat yourself a lot, and I'm like, so like the story I'm about to tell, I've told it before, but again, like not everybody watches every single one of my videos, and you know, some people are new, some people this is the first video that they're watching and that sort of thing. But it's like I can't tell different stories, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like, choose your own adventure, have it end a different way, but it's like, I don't know, this is my story. But I actually started making content back in 2009. I started as a book blogger. I still have my book blog. It's chicletplus.com. But I started blogging, and my main motivation behind it was that I wanted to be a published author. That was really my main kind kind of like my main goal. So I've always loved reading. I've always loved writing. I wanted to go to school for writing, journalism, I mean, anything along those lines. And I told myself that that wasn't a smart plan. I said, you need to get a degree in something that like makes more sense. Like to me, being an author was like being an actress. Like it felt so out of reach. It felt like only the most talented people or the people with the most connections actually made it as an author, which at that time is really not all that far-fetched to say. But so I went to college, I got my business degree, but I told myself if when I graduated college, if I still really wanted to write books and pursue it, I could start after college. Well, I ended up writing my first book while I was in school. I think I published it, I want to say when I was like 23 or something like that, I think is when my first book came out. So a couple of years after college, but it was something that always stuck with me. But then I was like, you know, I feel like I need connections. I need to know somebody. I need to learn about the industry more. So making a book blog really was one segment of that. And then I also just really wanted to be able to talk to people about books. That was my other like big motivator. And I read the book Something Borrowed by Emily Giffin. And I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this book. And I didn't have anybody in my close circle of friends in Iowa that read a lot or read the same kind of books that I did or wanted to talk about books like I did. And I was like, I just want to talk to somebody. And book blogs were getting more and more popular at the time. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start one of these and maybe I can find some people to talk to about books. And it just kind of really went from there. So not only do I now have 9 published novels, which is super exciting. I actually worked in the book industry for a long time. I worked in marketing, I worked in PR, I owned my own publishing company, I worked for publishing companies, I was an editor, I ran my own marketing company for you know, independent authors. So that was all, you know, so great. And then at the same time, I did build a whole community as well. And now, you know, I eventually transitioned over to YouTube and Instagram. And then I was able to find people who wanted to talk about books and beauty and working out and fashion. And, you know, now it's like healthy living, healthy habits, you know, different things like that. Like I have been able to find so many people through the online community that have really inspired me and kept me motivated and are just like so fun to talk to. And, you know, I just started book club. I have a second YouTube channel where I talk more about books and healthy living. And I've been talking over there more about the book club that we started. It's over on Fable. If you want to join, I'll put it in the description box. But we're reading Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez right now. And it's really fun to be able to have an app where I can kind of go in every few chapters and be like, this is what I think right now, or this is what I'm excited for. This is what I think maybe is going to happen. And it just kind of is that like really like full circle thing of like, this is why I started social media. And this is, you know, what my life looks like now. I don't know, what's 2009? All these years later? Someone do the math for me. Is it 16? That can't be right. Is it 16 years later? I've been doing brown mascara a lot, but I feel like I really want a black mascara for this look, and I just used up the Benefit Bounce. I think I had that in my last empties video. So I'm going to use the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal for mascara today. Let's see. Next question is, oh, can we belated celebrate in Bali? Oh my gosh, yes! 100% we can celebrate in Bali. We can celebrate anything in Bali. I feel like it's so fun because on all the trips I've done, usually someone is celebrating like something. There's a birthday, an anniversary, or just like a reason to be celebrating. So again, our trips for Bali are August 3rd through the 9th. You can also, you know, go earlier, stay later, or anything like that. But the actual like my trip dates are the 3rd through the 9th. I would love to belatedly celebrate my birthday there or celebrate anything that we have going on in life. That will be so fun. But I will have the links to Bali down below. And again, the trip is open to anybody. It doesn't have to just be like people who watch me on YouTube or social media or anything like that. So it's like, it's kind of the point of these group trips are just to be able to create like a safe environment to travel, to provide you like a host in the city that we're going. So with the tour company that I work with, you have hosts where you're going. So people who know the language, the currency, the transportation, you know, the food, and they really come with you everywhere and, you know, help check you into places and get you on a train if need be. And help you like with restaurant recommendations. So instead of going somewhere, not only by yourself, but even if you were to go like with a partner or a friend, you don't really know the lay of the land. You don't really know your way around, and you know, doing it as a group and with a tour company just kind of gives you that little bit more of like safety as well to it. So I think those trips are great for that. So I know, and there's been a few of them that we've had where people just really wanted to go to that location or that time or whatnot. So yeah, if you know anyone who wants to go to Bali, or you've always wanted to go, or you want to do something for yourself, do a trip for yourself, I do have a group chat on Instagram that you can join where we kind of chat with one another back and forth, and I answer any questions, things like that. So if you want to join that, you can. And then also I will leave the full itinerary so you can see it, and that will be in my description box. What is a promise you've made to yourself that you've kept and been better off for it? That's a good like question to ask friends. I feel like my friends and I are always asking each other like deep questions, but a promise that I made to myself. You know, I feel like when I was at that point of like leaving Iowa, leaving my marriage, I think I made a promise to myself that I would never rely on anybody again, which I think is good and bad, because I think I've really taken it to a new level. But for me, it was really understanding how much I did rely on a partner for so long and for so many things. And, you know, obviously there's a lot of reasons that go into that, things that I'm at fault for, things that I'm not at fault for, just different situations along those lines. But I think at the end of the day, I really started to understand that I couldn't leave for so long because I did have to rely on someone. And I told myself I would never do that again. That I would always be the one to provide for myself, that I would always be the one, like, that I always have myself. I always have my own back. And I feel like that's a promise that I made to myself, you know, when I was starting the process of being able to leave and all of those things. And I feel like it's something that I have really stuck to for better or for worse, because I think I have developed some, you know, hyper independence from that and that sort of thing that you learn through therapy. And I do definitely have a hard time letting people in, because I feel very like on guard, but like I feel like my guard is up a lot, that I'm like, no, don't get like too close to me, like, because I got myself. Like I say it all the time, like, I don't need you, I don't need anybody, I don't need help. I got this. And I think it's been definitely a lesson over the last couple of years, especially with my dog going through cancer and really honestly needing help from people, and then her passing and the grief. Like I did have to be like, okay, wait, no, I do need help. I do need, you know, assistance from my friends and the people close to me and that sort of thing. But I think at the same time, at the core of it, I feel very much like I will never rely on anybody the way that I've had to rely on people in the past. And I think that I've stuck with that. I got a few questions on how are you? I think that I'm doing okay. I wouldn't say right now is like the best time. Also, I woke up kind of sick. I threw up in the middle of my workout, which was kind of weird. I feel like I'm doing okay. I think my anxiety is definitely very high. I had an anxiety attack the other day, like full with like chest pains and all of that, which was very alarming. So that's not great. But you know, I have a lot of things happening right now. I feel like I wear so many different hats, and I feel like all of my hats are like in different places, and my days are long. And starting to be longer. Like I woke up at 2:42 this morning and was like, is it too early to get up? And I was like, yes, try to sleep for a little bit. So yeah, I feel like you know, stressed, but good. Stressed, but in a trying to keep it cute type of way. Another question is health update. I saw a couple of those come through. Health update, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. You know, I talk pretty openly about getting diagnosed with adrenal PCOS, and I think since really making a lot of changes, I've been doing really well at keeping things under control. You know, changing the way that I work out. I do a lot of walking. We've had miserable weather here, so I've really been doing a lot of reformer Pilates this year as well, which I basically took off all of last year from. So doing a lot of like low impact workouts have really worked for me. Making some meals at home, especially my desserts, because I have such a sweet tooth. So making like better for me desserts the other day, again on my second channel, I posted just bananas, almond butter, and melted chocolate. So good. Ate those all week. So that's been good for me. And then, you know, trying to focus as much as I can on stress. Obviously, I'm having a bad week. So there's that. But I mean, that just happens. You know, I talked about in that video of chasing happiness that like you can't always be at a high. Like sometimes you're going to be at a low, but guess what? Like you're going to come back around. It's just full circle. Like you can have bad weeks and then the next week can be great. And then things can just be smooth and then things can be good again. So I know that this week is just like a stressful week and that is what it is. But otherwise, pretty good. I feel like my skin is even good. I did buy the Panoxyl body scrub for like back knee. I talked about that in the hygiene video. So fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes for me. But like my acne's been pretty under control. My skin's been looking good. I get my hair done tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. Get a little hair refresh before the birthday. So hopefully you can't see too much of it in this headband. Hair oiling. So I feel like pretty good. Let's see. I did get some questions of how is the love life? Are you dating? Are you dating? Are you dating single or in a relationship? Are you dating anyone? Who's your lucky charm dating? You know, I'm trying. I'm trying to get out there. Like I said, I think when I moved to Las Vegas, that was literally the last thing on my mind. I couldn't have cared less about dating. I couldn't have cared less about men. Like moving here, moving my entire life here. I also started a business like 3 months after I moved here. So even when I moved here, I was so focused on starting by Samantha March. So, you know, we got the new products out. The procrastination deck is available now. Oh, and the Week at a Glance notepads are back in stock. So that's very exciting. So if you want to shop small, buy SamanthaMarch.com. But I moved here in April. That launched in July. And then the next year, I think I was so focused on PCOS and I was sick all the time. I could barely leave. So it's like, I really didn't even have much of a social life, like literally all of 2022. I tried to still make my accounts look fun and upbeat, but there was a very dark time of 2022 where I was so sick and couldn't figure out what was going on. And then in 2023, my dog got diagnosed with cancer and then she passed away. And then in 2024, I spent the whole year traveling. So dating really was not, I didn't care at all. But I just wasn't interested in being with anybody. And I wasn't interested in giving my energy to anybody. I think that was my biggest thing. Because even when people would be like, oh, you should just go on dating apps and like see what's out there. And I was like, why would I go on dating apps? Like I was always very open to the idea, like if I were to meet someone like organically or through a friend or just being out and about and I meet somebody, like, okay, but I'm not like seeking someone out. And to be able to put energy into like going on a dating app and like trying to talk to people, that was never something that I was interested in. I just didn't have the time for it. But this year, you know, I guess I'm more open to it. But the last while, I know I get asked like all the time about if I'm dating or not after divorce. And this is the first time that I've really felt like, yeah, maybe I could, you know, that sort of thing. I will also say I typically do, like, just like with my marriage was not very public. My husband was never on my channel with me. Like every once in a while he'd be like in like a vlog or something, but like he didn't like sit down and do a video with me. We didn't do challenges together. Like I don't even know if I like ever posted his photo on Instagram, maybe like once or twice, like a wedding photo or something, but like he wasn't a part of By Samantha March, right? And I just kind of feel that same way with dating. So it's not something that I try to publicize a lot because it's just one part of my life that I try to keep a little bit more private. But I'm also a very open book. I have an open book tattooed on my body. So I'm also a very open book, especially when it comes to my community. So yeah, we're trying. Trying to get out there. Okay, I'm gonna finish off this look and do my lips. Oh, I meant to use the Dior blush because I did that blindfold makeup challenge with my girlfriend Ashley and I could not get the Dior blush. I used the one from Nars instead because it's so pretty, but it was hiding behind my notebook over here. I could not figure out the Dior blush. I was in the Hourglass foundation. I was so embarrassed for myself. If you haven't seen it, one of my last videos, I did the blindfold makeup challenge. My girlfriend Ashley picked out products in my collection and then blindfolded me and I tried to guess what they were. That Dior blush nearly took me out, but for some reason you can tell when I'm feeling it that I go like this and then I go like this. Like I thought it was a duo of products, and then when she was like, no, it's just one, I was like, oh, and then I like swatched. I could not get it. It was hysterical. But for my lip, I'm gonna use the Colourpop So Juicy. This one is in Westwood. This lip liner is so pretty, and before I try to sneakily put on the next thing, this question really kind of caught me off guard. How common are veneers amongst influencers? All the celebrities have them. I don't know. I actually said that question to my girlfriend, and I was like, I actually don't like, I don't think that I personally know any influencer who has veneers, which is the teeth. I'm sure there's people that like I am acquaintances with that probably do. I just don't feel like I know, like my closer circle, I don't feel like I know anybody. And even my friends in real life, the only person I know was one guy that I knew in Las Vegas, and I remember he showed me like his like before and afters, and like his smile, like his teeth were that, like his smile, it changed his whole like demeanor. So hearing him talk about his veneer story, I thought was really cool. But I actually don't really know that many people personally with veneers. Again, I know it's out there, and I think especially I'm trying to figure out how to say this in the right way, but I think I know a lot of people who are like quite successful as influencers, podcasters, you know, that sort of thing. I think a lot of them do, but I'm just thinking for like me and like the people that I know, I don't think that I actually know anyone who does. But again, and I don't know everybody, so there's like always that. I think sometimes people think that like we all like know each other and like we're all best friends, but that's just like in real life, like that's just like not always the case. If we click on an affiliate link on mobile and it opens in an app, do you still get commission? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. Using affiliate links is one of the like best and easiest ways that you can support a content creator that doesn't cost you anything, that's not anything extra for you. And it really just helps support. I think if it's through an app, I want to say no. I could be wrong. Content creator friends comment. Now I want to find this out. But I felt like I was told at least a while ago, so maybe it's changed, that if it's through an app that they can't track it. But maybe that has changed now. I honestly don't know for sure. Because I feel like Amazon, most of that is through an app. And I think a lot of commission sales still go through. I feel like it has to be yes, because so much stuff is done through an app now, like Sephora, Ulta, a lot of that is through apps. But I don't know, it's tough though, because talking about like affiliate links, sometimes it can be really challenging to make money on affiliate sales as an influencer, because there's a bunch of things that come into play. One, if someone clicks on a link, yes, there is a possibility like using it through the app or whatever, it won't go through. Two, if you use something like a reward thing, like I can't remember, what was that? I used to use it all the time myself. Like it was like a reward page. But if you like shopped through that page, then an affiliate link doesn't matter, because all the sale and tracking goes to that like reward company, if that makes sense. And then even like if you click on my link and then a week later you're like, oh, I finally should check out, that cookie window could have expired for different places. It could be 7 days, 10 days, could be up to 30 days, but that cookie link could expire, so we don't get the sale. Also, like if you click on my link and then you don't buy something, and then you click on someone else's link and then you buy something, that goes to them. It's not like we split it. It's not like you get like an assist like in basketball. So there's that. And then also, of course, if you shop in store. So a lot of times when we talk about our products and our favorites and we're linking them and you're like, yeah, now I'm going to go shop in store at Ulta, we don't get, you know, affiliate commission for any of those. So for as much as like we talk about products and what we love and what we recommend and what we've tried, I mean, the affiliate sales, when it really comes down to it, is such a small, like actual showing of the makeup that we have or the products that we have like influenced on people. So I don't know, that's just a little bit about affiliate links if you were curious, but thank you for asking. Someone said, can I have your number? Well. Okay, I'm gonna try to put this lip on very sneakily. Oh, this one is so pretty. This one is my favorite. Just a good mauve lip. Just makes me super excited. It's so pretty. I've been wearing this one like so nonstop, but not in my videos. But like when I'm out and about, like this is what I've been wearing. so pretty. What is something really unexpected on your bucket list? Love all your content, thank you. Something really unexpected on my bucket list. You know, so we made it, okay, let me tell you this story. So my friends here, so we have Ashley and Katie, and then also Ashley's husband, so there's 4 of us, bam bam. We made a summer bucket list last year and then proceeded to not do a single thing on the bucket list. We spent a whole night, we had made food, we ordered ice cream, it was a whole thing. We made a bucket list, Katie and I put it on poster board, we decorated it, we put stickers on it. We didn't do a single thing on our bucket list. One, I was gone most of the summer, so there's that. Katie was also traveling quite a bit. I mean, we had a lot going on. Ashley bought a house, they were like getting moved in. We had a lot of things happening last year, but I was like, okay, can we bring out the bucket list and like we'll try again this year? Like, let's try it again. Let's run it back. But one thing that we put on the bucket list that I really want to do, I'm pretty sure this was my idea, was to do a time capsule. I used to do these when I was younger. Did anyone else do a time capsule? So I would do this with like my cousins, and we would put in like a book and like a note to each other and like a favorite bracelet. And then we would bury it. Well, technically I think we just like hid it in the basement, but we would like hide it somewhere. And then like in 2 weeks we'd be like, oh my God, we should get the time capsule out. You know, like we couldn't wait. Like we weren't gonna wait even a year. You know, some people wait like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to open a time capsule. We would wait like a solid 2 weeks, and then, you know, like my aunt would come back over with my cousins and I'd be like, time capsule. So that was something that we did as kids, but I thought it would be really fun to do, especially because, you know, Ashley just bought this house and it's like, oh, we could like bury it somewhere amongst the yard and the home. So if you have any good suggestions for what to put in a time capsule, let me know. But that's on the summer bucket list I'm determined to check items off of this year. I'm just gonna finish off with a few questions since the look is done. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay. What are 3 things you would tell your younger self? 3 things I would tell my younger self. 1, I think I would tell myself to stop waiting. Like kind of what I was saying earlier, no one is going to change your life for you. That is a lesson I wish I learned so much sooner. I kept waiting for, and it's not like I kept waiting for someone like, you know, Prince Charming to walk in and be like, will you marry me? Like I wasn't waiting in that sort of sense, but it was like I was waiting for like the right opportunity to just find me. I wasn't doing anything to make those opportunities happen for me. I wasn't starting a book blog so I could start to connect with authors so I could learn about publishing. I was just sitting there like, I'm a good writer, someone will find me one day. Like I was waiting and nothing was happening because I wasn't doing anything to make those opportunities happen for myself. I think that's one of the biggest things that I would tell myself. 2, I would tell myself how important educating myself is on topics that I don't feel like I know about. I've gone into detail about this, especially when it comes to finances. I always blamed lack of financial education on the school system. I talked about not having anyone in life that had a lot of financial education or background as well. And so I was like, you know, I have financial struggles because I wasn't taught it. That is no excuse because you can teach yourself anything. You can, in today's day and age especially, you can literally teach yourself anything at all. You can ask questions, you can check out books, you can watch videos, you can listen to podcasts, there's free resources, there's paid resources. There is absolutely no reason you cannot educate yourself on any subject that you want to know about, hands down. So I would tell myself that I needed to invest more time into educating myself on topics that I wanted to know about, finances especially being one of the biggest ones. On my second channel, I mentioned, I did a video on unique healthy habits that I wish I knew earlier, and one of them was a high yield savings account. I spent years putting money into a regular savings account at my credit union, making 22 cents every single year on interest, instead of moving it to a high yield savings account, earning compound interest, and now making hundreds of dollars in interest every single year. It is one of the biggest things that I wish I knew sooner. Okay. And then the third thing I wish I could tell my younger self, I'm trying to think of like something a little bit lighthearted, like vegetables don't suck. That's another thing I put in my unique healthy habits. Like I was such a picky eater for so long and I felt like I let it define me. Like I was known as like the girl that's definitely just gonna get chicken strips when we go out. And I love now that like I'm not afraid of cooking. I'm not afraid of experimenting. Like me and my friend Ashley made this recipe last night and it had sweet potatoes and we were doing this like weird stuffing thing with the chicken thighs. And I say we, it was mostly her that was doing it, but I was supervising very closely. I bought the sweet potatoes. So there was that. but like being able to experiment with different recipes and learning that like just because, maybe this is the lesson, like just because you don't like something right now or it's not working out for you doesn't mean that you can't revisit it. And that can be a lot deeper than vegetables. I think sometimes I get stuck in the way, I talked about this in a previous video, that sometimes I get stuck with like, this is how things were 4 years ago, so I should like still have that mindset. Like things are always changing, especially in today's world. Things change at such a fast pace. It can be really hard sometimes to feel like you're caught up with how the world is, but that is definitely one thing that I would tell my younger self. But after that, that is where we are going to wrap up my birthday Q&A. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. I hope you enjoyed seeing this look. I'm very impressed with the Milk Makeup tint. Also though, don't sleep on the Milani Powder. I think the Milani Powder is really doing so much for my makeup looks these days. The Odens eye palette, I mean, that one shade I just think is so pretty. Even the L'Oreal brows, like I'm not mad at these, and I hope you're excited to see what I have coming out for you very, very soon. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.